Welcome back, everyone. 44 past the hour. We are giving you some of the first looks at tapes of Osama bin Laden, part of which show the treasure trove of information seized from the compound in Abbottabad, Pakistan, during the raid that killed Osama bin Laden some 5-6 days ago now. But we're showing you the different videos. The one, I believe, on the bottom right with that blue background, that was one that was meant for the American people. The audio has been taken away from these videos, so as in the words of intelligence officials who conducted the briefing some hour and 45 minutes ago, to not allow for his propaganda to be further spread throughout the world. But we are seeing evidence of Osama bin Laden practicing as he wants to give information and practice what he would be putting out there in those video messages. That's represented in those top two pictures there of the quad. Down to the lower left quadrant, you will see a television as the camera zooms in. That is actually going to reveal Osama bin Laden watching himself on news broadcasts as depicted by Al Jazeera, Al Arabiya, perhaps even BBC, all stations that were able to be accessed there in Pakistan. That clearly was delivered to him via some sort of a courier as he looked at that on tape, or perhaps via satellite, though I think that's not the case. He didn't have satellite footage and dish satellite there reception in that home, that compound. We're going to talk right now with NBC's Jim Lukashevsky, who was down there in the Pentagon briefing that started at noon Eastern Time about an hour and 45 minutes ago. Make your takeaway from all of this today.
Well, first of all, Alex, I think that video of Osama bin Laden watching television is probably going to get the most attention. And I agree with Michael Isikoff that releasing that particular video is obviously an attempt by the U.S. officials to further denigrate his reputation and standing among others, not only in al-Qaeda, but certainly Muslims around the world. I mean, if you look at that, he looks like anybody's grandfather. Gray beard, stocking cap, huddled up against the cold under the blanket. Obviously, that facility didn't have central heat. And he was in exile for about for several years, at least, according to U.S. officials. And then in addition to that, in terms of the Zawahiri leadership and whether he's going to emerge as the leader of al-Qaeda, the question to the briefer was put specifically, what kind of communications was there between Anwar al-Awlaki, the American al-Qaeda there in Yemen, who has emerged as a possible figurehead, at least, for al-Qaeda around the world, and the briefer, didn't really seem to have any indication that there was any direct communication between the two. And all he said was, well, obviously, Osama bin Laden was aware of who al-Awlaki was, an indication that they perhaps were not in communication. And if they were communicating by courier, you can see why. So I agree with Michael Sheehan and Evan Coleman and the like, that it appears that despite what the officials here did today to denigrate Zawahiri's standing within al-Qaeda, that he would have to emerge as the most likely forerunner in any successor. But they do make a specific point. They found it very interesting that Zawahiri was not named as the successor when al-Qaeda acknowledged that Osama bin Laden had been killed.
I think that is an interesting point indeed, Mick.